Warm greetings to all of you and a very warm welcome to week 2 of the awesome Phase 2 program. This is a special week because every week is special, we understand, but this is a special week because we actually have the theme of embodied justice. And of course, we're familiar with the idea and the notion and the experience of embodied justice. And we want to turn the volume up just a little bit this week so that we really are spending time pondering, internalizing, contemplating what embodied justice might mean in our lives and in the lives of our beloved community and in the lives of our students. So very important that we want to register the pausing, really pausing, almost as if we're wanting to make our own notes, wanting to arrive at our own understandings through conversations with one another, with others, but definitely dropping in so that we can cultivate this idea and breathe life into this notion of embodied justice. We understand the concept within Awesome to mean that we are not waiting on anybody to hand us justice. That is Danai Mupotsa's beautiful poem called Justice. We are not expecting anybody to be gifting justice to us. We are invested in discovering how justice is cultivated and how it presents on the inside and among us within our communities, so that that work that we do on the outside, the structural work of changing society, is actually work that flows from these stronger positions, this stronger foundation and platform where we understand how to navigate our own power. So embodied justice is very much linked to power within and to power with. It is not reliant on any handouts as we understand, but it is only possible. Embodied justice is only possible when we are able to touch those places and we can taste freedom within ourselves. So this, of course, relates back to Steve Biko's incredible call to all of us, saying, if you want to oppress a people, oppress their minds. And this is the response to that call, to the call of Bob Marley. This is the response to free our own minds and to free ourselves. And we want to understand that that is a process. It is not something where we simply click fingers. It's a process because we understand that in the kinds of societies that many of us have grown up in, and in the kinds of societies where still we are faced with multiple oppressions on a daily basis, we understand that this is the work of cultivation. How do we become free? How do we become free? How do our minds become liberated in contexts of tremendous adversity? And of course, we understand this more easily politically, but we're wanting to come to understand this also, this liberation in terms of our relationships, our interpersonal relationships, our relationships with ourselves, our relationships in community. Where are the places that are uncomfortable and that hurt? Where are the patterns that I can start seeing in terms of the ways in which I'm showing up in those relationships and in the world? And how may I find ways to support myself and to support my close buddies and friends and comrades through these processes where the patterns, it's almost as if the patterns of oppression, what I think of myself, what I think of others, add a whole nother layer onto patterns of structural discrimination. So the liberating our minds is really also about forming community from a much easier place. I'm less and less trapped in this notion of how other people see me, and I'm cultivating a strength, because I can draw strength from my community, from my power with. I draw a lot of strength from my community in order to cultivate the power within. And so when we stand in that mountain pose in Tadasana, or when we sit in that stick pose or in Dandasana, we are understanding that those poses represent what is happening on the inside. The poses can help switch on our internal and our power with our community. They can help switch on that power with and the power within. But we want to make sure that we are always cultivating the power within and the power with, even when I'm not standing or sitting or lying down in that posture. So that it becomes, as I cultivate it, more and more of a default position. And perhaps it's helpful to say that it's only in the very early days. It's only in the very early parts of our cultivation of this practice that we present our embodied justice in the forms of resistance, right? And resistance is an important practice. We know this in many countries. Resistance is an important practice of transformation. But we equally understand that our power within becomes displayed in many, many other forms as well. It becomes displayed in forms like how I can express power within my community. And so there are many ways that this can play out, and many ways in which we want to enhance and amplify these incredible ways of expressing embodied justice, embodied freedom, embodied leadership. Thank you so very much for your attention, and let us find out what this means, so that we are really working at cultivating these qualities in anything that we do. Thank you. Go well.